Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Eric at Covenant of Love. I made a video recently. I thought somebody had committed suicide due to some very evil trolls fishing for certain types of knowledge of who I am as a person. At first glance, initial comments by two people. One was like, "I'm tired of this nonsense, and I'm going to unsub you." And that's fine. It's not like it was a two-way street with this individual anyway. I couldn't have a conversation with him. The other person found me to be mentally ill. So I'd like to go into a subject called compassion or empathy for other people. And I've talked about this in my other videos. But I, as a very young child, could feel people. Look into their eyes. I could see people. And as a very young kid of like 5 and 6, I felt the sorrow. And to me, it might as well have encompassed the world. And at some point now, as an older man that's stronger, it does encompass the world. And most people, just because they're pretty self-centered, just don't see it. So I've had a very close friend, at one time when I was 16, a best friend who taught me about cults, morticians, massacres, serial killers, just, crazy art, just a great person. He was a friend of my aunt. And, he ended up taking his life. And it blew my mind. It really hurt me to know that there was nobody in the world that could help him. And since then, I've known a couple people that also committed suicide. Maybe not as close, but it doesn't change the fact of what they were going through. So on here, I've always tried to have compassion, and there are people that you don't know where their heads are at, and there's a lot of assumptions made. And with Tawny Sunshine, there's a lot of people making assumptions on here. A lot of stuff that she talks about takes quite a bit of reading. When I talked to her about Cicero and how you could read Cicero as it might as well be written today, she completely could quote Cicero. So thank God she's alive. I appreciate that she's alive, and whether or not you find me sane or not, that's your own opinion. And to be honest, I'm going to live my own life. I will have compassion for people. There are people here that I'm not going to name, but they do know that they have felt that way and that I have been there for him or for them on here. And I've always given an open avenue for a conversation. If you are down, I am here for you. That's just how it's been. So, enough said. You caught me on a day where, and like I've told you, I break down probably every 3 months or so. And I did that in my last video. And it's for some people to see, and it's for other people, to mind their own business and F off, basically. If you can't understand that people commit suicide, I mean, the guy that unsubbed me is like one of the most emotionally screwed up people that I've met on here. He systematically has been, basically ostracized in some way or another. And I've just the week before I was trying to communicate with him, which is really funny because he's leaving comments, but it's a one-way street. There's no comments back. And he's basically living this cold, sheltered life, openly in the back of the day saying he was screwed up. For him not to have compassion for just because you guys think that she's crazy, that's your own prerogative. But if you research what she's talking about and you actually looked at some of the things she's talking about, you'll find that a lot of it is very factual. Now, there's other stuff that I can't say is true or not, but there's a lot that she is saying that is factual. So, again, I'm a mystic searching for the light, and there are times when I'm overwhelmed by the ugliness of this planet. I know that flowers are beautiful. I know that music is beautiful. I know there's beautiful people. I know there's good people. I know there's great children. But at the same time, I know that the sex trade and the child trafficking is what it's always been at an all-time high. There are up to 800,000 children missing a year in the United States of America and 1 million adults. We are not having, that ratio does not reflect in the murder rate. It doesn't reflect in the people that are homeless, because you can see the homeless. I live around tons of homeless. You are not seeing young children that are homeless. Where are those children going? So there are more questions than answers. Again, this is Eric, A Covenant of Love. It's my channel. I'm going to do what I want with it. You can have your opinion as long as you're not overtly derogatory. To the more sophisticated trolls, very nice avatars. And it was a lesson for me. And actually, I really appreciate it, because I needed a slight wake-up call. It's been a little while. You know, most of my trolls have just been vulgar retards, very uneducated. And they may think they're educated, but they are just easily picked apart. I now understand by the people that are dealing with her, because I've talked to her, that now you think you're going to play these subtle mental games with me. Well, that's going to end. That ended, the day you did that. But I do appreciate it, because I needed it. And it took me back to the old days where, I first started to learn about how to feel people on here. It seems I need to go back and do that. Not that I deal with a lot of new people. But I'll be looking more into you. And we will be trying to find the source of the two people that did that to me. Your sickness and the joy in what you did really denotes what type of person you are. And whether you know it or not, I'm looking for people like you. So everybody have a good day. This is Eric signing out.